Uni-Trade Stadium in the beautiful Laredo, Texas. We have our second game of the day between Central Michigan and Laredo, Texas, the hometown team. And to start off the game, we have our starting lineups. For Central Michigan, we have number 4, Charlie Newton, playing center field. Number 25, Colin Sherrar, playing second base. Number 3, Seth Stratton, the designated hitter. Number 28, Lance McDonald, the catcher. Number 17, Blake Plowdry, the right fielder. Number 34, Lucas Schweinsberg, the third baseman. Number 14, Parker Jadsak, the first baseman. Number 8, Ryan Schaefer, the left fielder. And number 1, Zeke Barnett, the shortstop. And Marcus Lynch, number 15, will be pitching for Central Michigan today. And Central Michigan's reserves include number 18, Trey Miller, number 22, Andrew Gauthier, number 23, Cameron Sheridan, number 24, Brent Jadsak, and number 27, John Cogwell. And for your hometown Laredo team, from Laredo, Texas, we have number 7, Fernando Benavides, the second baseman. Number 24, Derek Chrisman, the shortstop. Number 26, Omar Cervantes, the first baseman. Number 33, Sergio Chavez, the designated hitter. Number 15, Julio Cesar Taboada. 47, Daniel Quiroz. Number 6, Greg Campos, the left fielder. Number 14, excuse me, with the national anthem. As we get ready to start the game, I continue with the lineup for Laredo, Texas. Number 47, Daniel Quiroz, the right fielder. Number 6, Greg Campos, the left fielder. Number 14, Eric Garcia, the catcher. Number 2, Guillermo Sauceda, the third baseman. And number 10, Marco Rea, the pitcher. The reserves for Laredo include number 13, Dylan Nito. Number 27, Homero Saldivar. Number 29, Manuel Gamboa. Number 34, Jason Maldonado. Number 22, Adrian Castillo, and number 23, Alfredo Torres.
And here we go. Coach is exchanging lineups and having a few last words with the umpires, getting ready for the game. So this is a winner-go-home game.
Yes.
For this 2018 Palomino World Series between Laredo and Central Michigan. It features some really great athletes on both sides of the ball. This time around, these folks have been at it since late yesterday and continue to battle to try to move on in the tournament.
Yes, Central Michigan and Laredo yesterday, both in very close games. Laredo losing in the last inning, and Central Michigan not able to put a run on the board, losing 3-0 against Los Angeles. And as Mr. Gene Belmares over here said, it is a must-win for both teams, because if they lose, they go home. So it is a big game. It's the second game of the day here in the beautiful Laredo, Texas. So we'll see what the outcome is as both coaches are at home plate discussing the rules, and we're about to get started here.
What a show last night for Laredo in Mexico. What a heartbreaker. Laredo jumped up on Mexico early and was leading throughout the contest, only to have Mexico come back, rally, and win the game in the last ones. All right, looks like we're getting ready to go here. Ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy this game. Some great athletes playing baseball here. Weather is outstanding for a good baseball game in the afternoon. If you're joining us on live stream in the cool comfort of your recliner, enjoy the game. All right, who's coming up? Who's on deck here? Who's our first batter?
Up to bat for Laredo, we have number 7, Fernando Benavides, who is playing second base here for Laredo, Texas. And pitching for Central Michigan, we have number 15, Marcus Lynch.
He's got a great delivery. Boy, he's got good poise and looks like he's done a fantastic job working on his game.
Definitely. Looks like he has some good velocity, so we'll see if he can, keep a good command throughout the game and see if his pitches are where he wants his locations at.
Well, it looks like he's working it well. And we want to continue to thank our sponsors throughout the day for bringing this tournament to you. First and foremost, Pony International Baseball and Softball. Thank you for choosing Laredo as your destination for this World Series event. Laredo Pony and Richard Rosas and his crew for bringing the event to Laredo, and what they've done in the last couple of years has been phenomenal for the city in terms of tourism and also for our sports youth here in Laredo, giving them something to shoot for. All right, batter is in the box. Let's get going.
As the scoreboard gets fixed, the first pitch looks like it's about to be underway to number 7, Fernando Benavides. First pitch is swung on and hits directly towards the second baseman. Line caught.
Quick move by that second baseman to get a jump on that and catch that before it went out into the outfield.
Solid piece of hitting there by Fernando Benavides. He just didn't get enough of it to get it out of the infield. But quick out here for Michigan. Up to bat now we have Derek Chrisman, the shortstop for Laredo. First pitch is fouled back. Good fastball there by Marcus Lynch.
I took a good cut at that one. Here we go.
Here's the 0-1 pitch for Marcus Lynch. Another pitch that's fouled directly back by Chrisman.
Looks like that batter is liking what he's seeing. He's taking two good swings at it.
See what pitch Marcus Lynch throws to Mr. Chrisman here with an 0-2 count. 0-2 pitch is a high fastball that misses pretty badly, but solid pitch. Wanted to see if Mr. Chrisman here would chase that fastball out of the zone.
That was flying a little high there, so let's see what he's got for this round.
1-2 pitch, and
right
Mr.
down
Chrisman,
the pipe, and he's out.
Mr. Chrisman gets caught looking there.
Excellent throw by that pitcher. He had a pitch ready for Mr. Chrisman there. Caught him looking.
Early on in this game, we can see that number 15, Marcus Lynch, the pitcher for Central Michigan, has a serious fastball with some great location, having these Laredo hitters swing a little bit late and having them guessing. Now with number 26, Omar Cervantes, playing first base for Laredo. Let's see if he can get something started here.
And he gets a good fastball right down the pipe there, right down the middle. Well, you got to believe that these guys have scouted each other. They know what they've got, and they're ready to bring it to each other. So let's see.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Another fastball.
Oh, that was a beauty. That was beauty. And the batter loved what he saw there.
Another quick 0-2 count here for Marcus Lynch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Struck out looking again.
Looking again. Omar Cervantes goes down looking. Well, Chewy, what did you think? That first inning looked really solid for that pitcher, Marcus Lynch.
Yeah, he did.
He's got an arm on him. He's got great control, and he knows what he wants to throw to these batters.
as we talked about pregame, we talked about maybe see if he'd have some good command, and he did have some good command there with his fastball. Very, very solid velocity and great location, and gets out of this quick 1-2-3 inning.
That's right. Conserving some energy there by getting their boys back inside that dugout. And here comes Laredo to take the field. And again, we want to continue to thank our sponsors, Leindecker Construction, the outlet shops at Laredo, Persons, Whitworth, Borchers, and Morales, Playmore Entertainment, Road Tex Truck Center, Inc., Rudy's Real Texas Barbecue, Stat Emergency Center, Sunbelt Air Conditioning, Tots the Teens Pediatric Dentistry, AEP Texas, Danny's, La Carreta, and La Roca, Oliveira Audiology and Hearing Center, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, Dr. Marte Martinez, Andy's Auto Air, Andy's Mobility, A-Rod Construction, Blue Top Digital Reprographics, Carlos A. Canales CPA, the City of Laredo, Laredo CVB. Great sponsors. Without you, we couldn't put on these tournaments and these games, and so we're happy to have you. We're appreciative of all you do for us.
Most definitely, and must say, Mr. Belmatis, what an event here for these kids. What an experience to have a World Series, especially for this Laredo team in their hometown.
Absolutely, and have teams travel all the way from Chinese Taipei, Puerto Rico, Hermosillo, Mexico. It's fantastic. And, you know, for the United States teams that are here to go see another part of the world in their own country, that's a big treat. Central Michigan, California, Youngstown, Ohio, and right up the road from us, our neighbor, what we consider Laredo North, San Antonio.
Definitely. Pretty much teams from all four corners of the world here in Laredo, the beautiful Laredo, Texas. Beautiful day, as Mr. Belmada said earlier, to play baseball. And we have number 10, Marco Rea, pitching for Laredo, Texas. Let's see if he can have the same command that Marcus Lynch had for Northern Michigan.
Oh, he's got some serious heat on that one.
What a fastball there by Marco Rea. Great location.
He's ready for the game. He is. He's bringing his stuff. Let's go.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's hit down
the line, and it is foul.
Charlie Newton for Central Michigan, the batter, a little late there with that swing. Let's see if in this at bat he can catch up to the Marco Rea's pretty heated fastball. Quick 0-2 count for Marco Rea.
And we're a little break in the action here. Steps out of the batter's box. Let's see what he's got in store for him on this 0-2 count.
0-2 pitch.
And caught him looking. Standing frozen like a statue. That ball flew right past him.
What a pitch there on the top right corner. Just inching at the strike zone. What a pitch by Marco Rea. He gets his first strikeout of the day as Central Michigan has number 25, Colin Sherrar, playing second base up to bat.
Oh, look at that, Joe. He continues to throw that fastball right down the middle. He's got great command of it, and he is not taking any prisoners on this one. He wants him out just as quickly as as Marcus Lynch got his team into the dugout. Oh,
Definitely.
One that got away from him.
Yes, he hits Colin Sherrar right on the hip. That one hurt just for a little bit. But we have the first base runner of the day.
That's right. We've got somebody at first base. Catcher's going over there to calm down his pitcher a little bit. Not to worry. Get a little pat. Get ready to do it. Let's do it again.
Now up to bat for Central Michigan, we have number 3, Seth Stratton, the designated hitter.
Well, I saw him earlier in the game, and he's got some definite power. This young man can really swing that bat.
Definitely. Scary position here if Mr. Stratton gets on base with the cleanup hitter, Lance McDonald, on deck. The runner goes.
Oh, the ball gets past the catcher here. The runner's at second base. That one just seemed to kind of slip off the edge of the glove from him.
And that puts a runner in scoring position for Central Michigan. Let's see if Seth Stratton can capitalize here for Central Michigan. It was a 1-0 count. Here's a 1-0 pitch.
Whoa, hard hit down that first base. Foul. Boy, that coach in the box there took a quick move, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Cat-like reflexes.
He had to hold his breath there for a second.
Got to be careful out there. Got to be watching the game carefully because those foul balls can come your way.
Here's a 1-1 pitch from Marco Rea. Fastball in the dirt and gets by the catcher once again. And the Central Michigan runner is able to advance to third base on another pass ball.
Now that one just seemed to bounce right out of his glove and move over to the left of him. And so now we've got a runner on third. And so Central Michigan is threatening here.
Yes. 1 out, a 2-1 count. We'll see if Central Michigan capitalize here. Another ball that gets away from the catcher, but this one within reach to keep the runner held at third base.
Seems like our catcher's having a little bit of trouble with that fastball coming in.
Definitely. Definitely. That moves the count to 3-1. We'll see if Marco Rea can gain some composure here and gain that command that we saw with the first batter.
Oh, the coach is going to come out here and talk to his catcher.
Yes, it looks like we have time called. I'm sure they'll discuss those 3 pass balls back to back to back.
Well, that's unusual. He's played a very good game so far in this tournament, and this game has kind of slipped away from him a little bit. So looks like he's looking at his hand. Coach is talking to him about a thumb, maybe. Looks like he's got an issue on one of his hands.
Seems to be all right. We'll hope he can continue his high level of play. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, the score is still 0-0. We are in the bottom of the first inning. 1 out in the inning, a 2-1 count here to Seth Stratton, the designated hitter. Great pitch there by Marco Rea.
Absolutely. You know, Marco Rea and Marcus Lynch, both these pitchers, Central Michigan and Laredo's pitcher, are going to have a duel today. Marcus did a great job in the top half of the inning, and now Marco's coming here trying to regain his composure and get his team back in the dugout, get back on the offense.
Pitch grounded to the second baseman. No play at home, but they will get the out at first base.
And the first run of the day is scored for Central Michigan.
RBI batted in for the designated hitter, Seth Stratton, doing his job as a designated hitter.
That's right, bringing in those runs. And so now Laredo's down 1 at the bottom of the first. We've got 2 outs.
And we have the cleanup hitter, number 28, Lance McDonald, the catcher today, at the plate. 2 outs here for Laredo. First pitch is fair.
It's fair, right down that first base line. And the runner is advancing to second. Oh, he's going to try to take 3, and he's going to make it there safely, standing up.
Stand-up triple there for Lance McDonald.
Joey, what a hit that was. That just hugged the inside of that line and went all the way out there and hit that back fence and bounced back to the fielder. He was able to get all the way around to third base, and now they're threatening again.
I tell you what, Mr. Belmares, that's a textbook hit there as a former baseball player. If you hit down the line, you know it's extra bases. So what a hit there by Lance McDonald.
Absolutely. He got on his horse, too. He was going to get the third base.
Now up to bat for Central Michigan, we have the right fielder, number 17, Blake Plowdry. See if he can get another RBI for his team and have him jump to a quick 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Let's see if Marco Rea can get out of this inning with only 1 run as damage. As the second pitch is popped up to the shortstop. And he makes the play.
We go.
Yeah.
We've got 3. So damage is done. We've got 1 run scored by Central Michigan. They lead the top of the second, 1-0 over hometown Laredo. boy, these teams I know are going to work their tails off today, because if they don't win now, they're going to go home.
Definitely, and you know, Laredo, they get to drive a couple of miles from Central Michigan. If they lose, that's a long way home. It was a long way to this trip, but I know whether Central Michigan or Laredo loses, they were both very excited to be here, and it was such a great experience for both teams. You know, to have the privilege to play a beautiful game of baseball that is absolutely on fire right now in every league in the United States, and it's just a great day, a great experience, and you know, great look for these kids who are, I'm sure, all trying to play to the highest level possible.
That's right. You know, last night when Webb County Judge Donald Tijerino spoke to them about his experience in the minor leagues after being drafted by the Milwaukee Brewers, you could see the desire in their eyes as they want to be in that same position. They want to be able to get to the majors and play in the show. They're all excited, and they know that this tournament has some alumni that are now playing in the major leagues.
Most definitely, and these tournaments, these World Series tournaments are great stepping stones towards those scouts and those college, you know, recruits, and it's a great look for all of these players. So, you know, congratulations to all of them on being here, and you know, I'm sure that this tournament will be a great one, panning out all the way until Monday in that championship game.
Oh, that's right. And, you know, these teams, you know, battled it out all spring to get to this tournament here, winning their zones before coming to the Palomino World Series here in Laredo, Texas. First time in Texas. Definitely. After an 18-year stint in Santa Clara, California. The tournament itself has been around for 39 years, and the vast majority of them there in California. They were out in Pennsylvania for a while, and now they're in beautiful, sunny Laredo, Texas.
Yes, and what better ballpark than Uni-Trade Stadium, a state-of-the-art ballpark. As we get ready to start the top of the second inning, we have the cleanup hitter, the designated hitter, number 33, Sergio Chavez. First pitch to him is swung on and blooped.
Oh, and it falls in, yes. He's got a runner on first now. Sergio Chavez.
Blooped into right center field, and it just drops out of the glove of the second baseman. Sergio Chavez last night in the heartbreaking loss to Hermosillo, Mexico. He had a great night last night. He had two hits.
He sure did. Just a heartbreaker for him. What an effort for him last night, and he comes back and he's at it again. And what an effort by the Central Michigan player out there to try to get to that ball from where he ran. He had a distance to cover.
Laredo Cesar Tobada. He's safe.
He's safe at first. Did you see the speed on him, Chewy, as he ran down that first base? That little road runner got there fast.
Definitely. He took a very big stride there, and he beats out the pitcher as he blooped a soft ground ball to the second baseman.
Fantastic young man. What an athlete Mr. Julio Tobado is. Julio, little tidbit, played flag football for me for 5 years at Matias de Ano. Wow. Excellent athlete. Played quarterback and receiver. He does it all. And he's got a set of wheels on him.
Oh, definitely. We saw him there on display, and we'll see if number 47, Daniel Quiroz, a right fielder for Laredo, can get Laredo on the board with their first two base runners on, as a fake bunt attempt is taken for a ball. Marcus Lynch in a little pickle here with two runners on base, as I mentioned, with no outs. We'll see if Laredo can capitalize here. A base hit in any direction will likely tie the game here for Laredo. The ball's thrown away, and a pickoff attempt to second base, but the center fielder covering in perfect position, and the runners stay put.
Absolutely. Sergio made a wise choice in not trying to make that run to third base. That center fielder came up quickly to pick up that errant throw. Lucky for him that he did. If not, Laredo would have somebody at the corners.
Definitely. And as I mentioned, Marcus Lynch looking struggling to hear a little bit, and his coach out there with his coaches meeting on the mound talking about, you know, what is going on and seeing if he can improve on certain things to keep this a 1-0 game.
And why they take that break on the mound, gotta love these umpires. Boy, they work hard. They come down here in the hot sun. They've got all that gear on them, especially the one behind home plate. And It's a testament to their love for this game as well. So hats off to our umpires.
After seeing every game yesterday and calling some games, every call has been pinpoint from these umpires. You know, no questions from the managers. They've gotten everything correct. A bunt attempt down the left field line, hooks foul.
And batter's just trying to advance his runners, get them in scoring position.
Daniel Quiroz with a 1-1 count here in the top of the second inning.
And Marcus Lynch is finding himself in a little bit of trouble here. Let's see what he can do.
Yes. As the first baseman creeps in, there's still a bunt attempt. Looks to bunt it down the left field line, but he doesn't. He fouls it straight back. And we must guess, and I'm sure it's going to happen with a 1-2 count. I'm sure he's swinging away because if he bunts foul, the batter is out.
That's correct. I think he's going to have to take a good chop at this one.
Yeah, it looks like he's swinging away here with a 1-2 count. See what Marcus Lynch delivers here. 1-2 pitch and caught looking again.
Standing straight up. Great pitch by Marcus Lynch. He put that one right down the center there and caught the batter just looking.
Definitely, that was a good-looking changeup there by Marcus Lynch, throwing the batters off after throwing several fastballs in a row. We'll see if the left fielder for Laredo, number 6, Greg Campos, can get something going here with 2 runners on base and only 1 out. First pitch is a high fastball.
Yeah, that's the first pitch I've seen that he's lost a little bit of control on.
Most definitely, yes.
He's had pretty good command most of the day.
Here's a 1-0 pitch from Marcus Lynch. Fastball right down the middle, taken for a strike.
Yeah, so we've got a 1-1 with 1 out and 2 runners on. We've got somebody at first, somebody at second.
Yes.
And Laredo trying to advance their runners to tie up this game. Central Michigan leading 1-0 at the top of the second here.
We have a check swing there by Mr. Greg Campos, the left fielder, as he takes another ball, high curveball. A 2-1 count here. See if Laredo can capitalize on 1 pitch here, 1 base hit. Another fastball on the inside corner, taken for a strike. 2-2 count.
Another excellent pitch by Marcus Lynch.
Here's a 2-2 from Lynch. Swung on late and fouled to the right side of the field. A little late there on that swing. Trying to catch up to Mr. Lynch's very, very, very fast fastball.
He's got them on their heels. Let's see what Greg Campos can do here. He's got him in that 2-2 rope, on the ropes here.
Another high fastball.
Full count now.
Full count.
There you go.
This is a very important pitch here for Mr. Marcus Lynch. If he walks him, the bases are loaded with 1 out. If he strikes him out, it's a big out here.
Yep, we've got our big catcher, Eric Garcia, on deck coming into the batter's box. So
and he walks Mr. Campos, and the bases are loaded now with 1 out.
What a great scoring opportunity for hometown Laredo.
Yes.
As they get their catcher coming up. And he's got a good bat as well. He swings a nice hard bat, and hopefully he can put some runs in.
Definitely. Last night against Mexico, he also recorded 2 hits there early on, and he had the 2 RBIs, 2 early RBIs in the game for Laredo. So we'll see if he can continue his streak of hot hitting here.
Golden opportunity for him.
Yes.
Bases loaded.
Yes.
Speedster at second, and he's got Sergio Chavez here at third. Greg Campos on first.
First pitch, swing and a miss, another fastball. Great location there.
Tell you that Marcus Lynch sure does have some control.
Here's the 0-1 pitch from Marcus Lynch. Fastball swung on late and hit foul down the right field line. I'll tell you what, a lot of fans in this tournament are going home with a solid baseball there.
Absolutely. Good souvenir to keep. First Palomino World Series in Laredo, Texas.
Quick 0-2 count here for Marcus Lynch. See if he can get out of this jam with 1 out, bases loaded. 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled back again.
Well, that one's going to be up there for a while. Landing over on the canopy right above the upper deck.
Another 0-2 pitch by Marcus Lynch. Hit fair.
That's right, Don.
A base hit to the left field.
That's right, scored 2 runs, and now we've got runners at first and second, and Laredo takes the lead. 2-1 here at the top of the second.
Eric Garcia living up there to his hot hitting last night, and what an RBI there, and that second run is able to come in off a boot by the left fielder who was unable to come up with the ball cleanly. And great start here for Laredo, you know, answering back from that first run by Central Michigan.
That's right. Great run production from their catcher who's been swinging a really good bat. He's been hot the entire time, this entire tournament, so hats off to him.
And now up to bat with 1 out and a runner on first and second. We have number 2, Guillermo Salceda, the third baseman. Switch hitter who takes the ball outside.
He's had a good tournament as well. Guillermo Salceda has been playing really well and continues to show great promise here.
Here's the 1-0 pitch by Marcus Lynch. Another solid hit, second base. Let's see if they turn 2. Michigan turns 2, the first double play of the tournament.
And there goes Laredo. But at least they've scored 2 runs. They did a little damage there. They're up 2-1 against the North Zone champions, Central Michigan.
Yes, they're able to answer back there with a big chopping base hit to left field, scoring, bringing in those 2 crucial runs to take the lead here early.
That's right. That's right. It's not getting any cooler down there on the field either. It's starting to warm up nicely. And so as the action heats up, so does the temperature. Again, thank you to our sponsors, Person, Whitworth, Borchers, and Morales, attorneys at law, great law firm. Playmore, 48,000 square feet of entertainment coming soon to Laredo, Texas. Stat Emergency Center. Boy, if you get hurt, need to go place in a hurry, Stat Emergency Center. That's the place to go. Tots to Teens, Pediatric Dentistry. And the great restaurants of Danny's, La Roca, and La Carreta. Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, Dr. Marte Martinez. What a wonderful invocation Dr. Martinez gave last night during the opening ceremonies. Outstanding speaker, very well said and very well received. Gentleman has done a couple of invocations for these pony tournaments and opening day ceremony this year for the league. Very active in his community.
Yes, very active in his community, and that was a great opening ceremony yesterday here at Uni-Trade Stadium in Laredo, Texas. And we got to, you know, all the teams were introduced and
great athletes, and we had our county judge and Abraham Key, CEO of Pony International's baseball and softball here in Laredo, Texas, to visit with Laredo Pony President Richard Rosas and to watch the tournament. One that he is extremely proud of. It's, again, one of these premier tournaments. You've got alumni who have played in this tournament who are now playing in the major leagues. Fantastic organization. And Abraham Key, what an outstanding individual. True commitment to his community and to the youth of this nation, the youth of this world, through baseball and softball. So glad to have him here in Laredo. Glad that he could make the trip and see our beautiful city and hopefully come back with more tournaments. We'd love to have the 12-year-olds, the 14-year-olds, all of them come down and play here in Laredo.
Definitely, and we have great ballparks here in Laredo, Texas to host each tournament. And what a great treat that was. And as we start the bottom of the second inning, we have the number 34, the third baseman, Lucas Schweinsberg, who fouls off a pitch straight back. And boy, I tell you, Lucas Schweinsberg yesterday playing third base had some crucial outs there against Los Angeles. Great defensive player. I believe he's already committed to a university there in Central Michigan, and just a solid baseball player all around.
A Golden Glove in the making. Mr. Schweinsberg did a fine job yesterday defending that line.
Yes, definitely the hot corner, as we call it. Here's a 1-1 pitch by Marco Rea, who looks a little bit more comfortable as there's a swing and a miss there by Schweinsberg with that 2-1 lead.
That's right. It's amazing what a little run insurance will give you in terms of confidence. Pitcher's coming out there now defending his lead.
Yes. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Good looking pitch.
That looked good. That looked good.
On the outside corner, just a bit outside, and it's called a ball by the home plate umpire. 2-2 count here, but as we mentioned, a little cushion as a pitcher is nothing more that you want.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
There it is.
Right down the middle, blazing fastball, and out goes Lucas Schweinsberg. And so Marco Rea looks like he's got his confidence back. And, again, maybe that one-run cushion he's got, that one-run lead is fueling his confidence.
Up to bat for Central Michigan, number 14, Parker Jatsak, swings and misses, but what a job there by Marco Rea, you know, not getting a call on the outside corner and comes back to the inside corner and just inches it, and he gets the call there for his second strikeout of the day. Another pitch to Jatsak, grounded to second base, easy play made there.
And then we've got 2 down now.
Yes, what a nice play there by Fernando Benavides, the second baseman.
Boy, you know, you got to love the hustle from these players. Knowing that ball is probably going to get him out at first, he gave it all. He never let up.
He made it a closer play than it should have been, definitely.
You bet. You got to admire the hustle of these kids.
Now up to bat for Central Michigan, number 8, Ryan Schaefer, the left fielder, who takes a ball at his first pitch.
That's an interesting dynamic going on with the catcher. There's a couple balls that he's dropped that I'm not sure if his hand is hurt or there's something going on, but he's dropped a couple of those good pitches.
Here's a 1-0 pitch, another pitch that's high, another ball taken there for Ryan Schaefer. Ryan Schaefer also had a big day for Central Michigan yesterday with a couple of hits.
All these kids can produce runs, that's for sure.
Yes. One thing that the directors of this tournament talked about is every kid can play.
Well, you know, they've got to have made it this far. They've gone through, you know, series of local tournaments and regional tournaments to make it down to Laredo, Texas, and play in the World Series.
Here's a 2-1 pitch by Marco Rea. Fastball swung on and grounded up the middle to the second baseman. Tough play. And the runner just gets there in time, and he is safe. That was a bang-bang play there at first base.
Boy, that was swift running out there. Did you see him get down that first baseline? He was motoring to get there. And what typically would have been an out, that runner made sure he was going to be safe.
And you just mentioned it, Mr. Belmontes, the hustle that these players have.
That's right. It's that thrill of competition. These kids are giving it their all. They definitely want to stay here and keep playing. They don't want to go home today.
Now up to bat for Central Michigan, the 9-hitter, number 1, Zeke Barnett, playing shortstop. First pitch, bunt attempt. He takes a strike there. Top part of the zone for Marco Rea. Solid fastball there.
What a great delivery Marco Rea has. When he comes off that mound, he is just smoking that ball down the pipe.
As Marco Rea checks the runner, here's the 0-1 pitch to Zeke Barnett. Another fastball that swung on and driven to left field, a base hit. Solid piece of hitting there by the 9-hitter, producing for Central Michigan as they get to the top of the lineup here in the bottom of the second inning already.
And so now they've got a runner in scoring position on second, and they've got a runner on first. Yes. With 2 outs in the bottom of the second, let's see what Laredo can do to stop this little rally.
Definitely a little 2-out rally here by Central Michigan. These are when the bats typically get hot for most teams. We'll see if number 4, Charlie Newton, can keep this hot streak of hitting up here in this inning. Marco Rea delivers a fastball just a bit outside, taken for ball 1. One 1-0 pitch there by Marco Rea, just on the inside corner, a fastball gets by him looking.
And that evens up the count at 1-1, and let's see what Marco Rea has in store for this batter.
1-1 pitch. He thought about swinging there. That was an excellent curveball there by Marco Rea, but the batter is able to have a good eye and lay off of that pitch.
It looked good to him at first. He thought he might take a shot at it, but
I tell you what, if he swings at that, there's no way he makes contact with that pitch. What a great eye by the batter there. There's a solid fastball, another fastball by Marco Rea, whose fastball's been outstanding in this game. Brings up the count to 2-2 with 2 outs and a runner on second and first. And if you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, Laredo takes the lead in the top of the second inning, and they're leading 2-1 as we're in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs and 2 runners on base for Central Michigan, with Marco Rea on the mound pitching for Laredo, Texas.
And a great job by the catcher, Eric Garcia, to bring in those 2 runs for Laredo.
Definitely.
He's had a really hot bat this entire tournament and not letting up.
Yes, a pitcher's best friend, and what more can he do than help his best friend there at the plate, bringing in some runs. We have a full count here for Charlie Newton, the batter for Central Michigan. See if Marco Rea can get out of this little jam here. And he ends up walking Charlie Newton with a low fastball that hits the dirt. Luckily, Eric Garcia hangs on to this one, because I guarantee you that's a run for Central Michigan if he doesn't.
That's right. That runner on third here has got a set of wheels on him. He was got on the base on a hit that probably would have been out for most other runners, but this kid has some speed. And so now we got bases loaded.
Yes, with Colin Sherrar, the second baseman, with the second time up to bat. Marco Rea going for a full windup here. And that pitch is fouled down the right field line.
And another souvenir for someone here. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us on this live stream, come on out to Uni-Trade and watch the games here live. We've got some great action.
Solid curveball there, just breaking at the very end there for Marco Rea, buckling the batter.
Ed caught Sherrar just looking at that one.
0-2 count here for Sherrar. He's already in a deep hole. Let's see if Marco Rea can capitalize here and get himself out of this bases loaded jam.
I'm sure the pitcher's not feeling comfortable right now with 3 men on.
Solid pitch there on the top of the zone, a fastball. 78-mile-per-hour fastball that just misses.
Chewy, if he can get out of this inning with no runs, well, that's a big confidence booster for him as well.
Definitely, and that'll get the bats going for Laredo once again. Another fastball that just misses on the top left corner. And I tell you, Marco Rea with these locations, and I know he's not getting the calls, but these locations are excellent. You know, great locations for a batter to swing and miss, and maybe even catch the batter looking. Here's a 2-2 pitch.
That one's a little high, but those other 2 were really, really close. And
as we see the catcher tell Marco Rea to bring his release a little bit down here. We come from an 0-2 count to a full count here with the bases loaded. Huge pitch here by Marco Rea. Here's a full count pitch as the runners go. And he misses. He walks.
And that ties the game up for Central Michigan.
Yes.
Laredo 2 and now Central Michigan 2 with bases loaded, 2 outs.
Yes. Tough pitch there, Marco Rea. I'm sure he wanted that pitch. It was an inside fastball that just misses, and the catcher again is unable to come up with the pitch. I'll tell you what, some of these pitches look really good. If Eric Garcia can come up with this ball and frame the pitch a little bit, maybe Marco Rea can get a call here and there. But the ball gets by and a run is walked in. We'll see if Marco Rea can come back from this and get out of this inning. Central Michigan, number 3.
And the center fielder grabs that one, and there we go. End of the inning, but the damage done. 2-2 tie score here in the top of the third.
Yes,
as we just wrap up the second inning. Central Michigan coming back with a run and stranding 3 on the bases.
Yes. Yes, but Mr. Sestran lines out there to end the inning, but Central Michigan ties the game. You know, not doing too much hitting, but they walk in a run, and that's big time for Central Michigan. You know, we'll see if Laredo can keep up their hot hitting that they had in the top of the second inning and get something going here.
Absolutely. I know they're going to work towards that. Again, we want to thank all the folks who make this possible, all the volunteers working in the booth, my colleague here to my right, Chewy, on the live stream, and the folks in the Jumbotron booth over here producing great video and just working the microphone and introducing the players as they come to the plate here at the stadium. It's a nice day for baseball. Come on out to Uni-Trade here in Laredo, Texas, and watch some great baseball.
Definitely come out to Uni-Trade Stadium today. We have one more game at 4 o'clock and then the last game of the day at 7 o'clock here. And if you're from Laredo, Texas, and you're here, your hometown team is playing right now, and it's still early in the game. If you want to stop by and get a chance to see some great baseball today.
Absolutely. Some fine kids that have dedicated their entire summer to this sport. Hats off to them. I know they put in a lot of work and they give up a lot of themselves, their parents as well, sacrificing time to bring their kids to practice and to the games. So glad to see that they've made it to the World Series, and hopefully they can continue in advance right here in Laredo, Texas, their hometown.
Definitely giving them all credit, finishing their high school seasons and starting their select ball seasons right away, and as you mentioned, winning several games to get to this tournament, and great accomplishment for all of them.
Absolutely, and hats off to the coaches and all the volunteers that make Pony what it is today. Just a great organization for our youth, both girls and boys.
To get this inning started, we have the leadoff hitter, the top of the lineup for Laredo, number 7, Fernando Benavides, the second baseman, who takes a strike there for his first pitch of the inning. Solid pitch there by Marcus Lynch. The 0-1 pitch is a little inside, almost hits Benavides.
Boy, he changed his delivery a little bit on that one. It looked like he was trying to sidearm that ball in.
Definitely, I'm sure that's why it almost hit Mr. Benavides. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Fouled back, another late swing. A lot of these foul balls are late swings here with great fastballs by both pitchers.
And that foul ball looks like somebody can retrieve that one. The others have always hit the upper deck and landed in the canopy. The only place where Orlando Navarro can get them.
1-2 pitch.
Oh, and an error at shortstop.
Yes, 1-2 pitch hit directly, chopped to the shortstop. And unfortunately, the shortstop, another error on the tournament. He had two costly errors yesterday against Los Angeles, California. And today, an easy chopper just out the reach of his glove. And
it's hard to tell when you're sitting out there on shortstop and that ball takes that bounce, which way it's going to go.
Definitely. As somebody that played that ground ball, the ball changes, and it's tough to look at the book and see that E6 or E5 there. But
Marcus Lynch trying to keep the runner honest over there on first base. Fernando Benavides, who had a sizable lead before Marcus commanded him back to first base.
Yes, we'll see if number 24, the shortstop Derek Chrisman, can get something going here as he takes a fastball, just misses the inside corner. Yeah, you can tell by Marcus Lynch's body language that he wanted that pitch. Great location there, just misses. We're here in the top of the third inning. Each team has 3 hits. Laredo has their first base runner of the inning on as another pickoff attempt there, and runner gets back safely. It's always great for teams to get their leadoff runner on base.
That's right. I mean, that's the job of the leadoff runner. Get on that base, get on his wheels, and try to circle the bags and get home.
Another pickoff attempt by Lynch that almost gets away from the first baseman. He just gets back in time, and I'm sure Mr. Lynch knows that Fernando Benavides has some wheels and wants to keep him at check there at first base.
You bet.
As another pickoff attempt gets back.
I'm sure Fernando's going to keep him honest. He's going to keep him worried that he's going to make that jump to second base.
Definitely. Another pickoff attempt to first. And Benavides has got him back safely once again.
Well, that's got to tell you that Marcus Lynch has some healthy respect for Fernando Benavides' speed.
Definitely.
And wants to keep him from stealing a base on him.
The second pitch of the at-bat to Chrisman is swung on and missed. That was a big cut there. He makes contact. That ball is going a long way.
He just missed it by a little. Got a little bit of a breeze out there, and doesn't look like that ball would have drifted had he hit it. That thing would have gone straight down the middle.
Another pickoff attempt here for Lynch, and they're getting a little bit closer and closer, but Benavides is getting back safely. Always fun in baseball to get your uniform dirty like that.
That's right. Well, when I played, I sometimes got my uniform dirty by just jumping out of the dugout and hitting the ground.
Definitely. Another pickoff attempt there by Lynch, and Benavides gets back safely once again. Only 2 pitches thrown here to Derek Chrisman, the shortstop, the number 2 hitter. Fastball swung on and fouled directly back.
We got to wonder whether or not Fernando Benavides' speed has made Marcus Lynch nervous and affecting his ability to throw here to Derek Chrisman.
Definitely, as we can tell, that his focus is not directed towards the batter, it's directed towards the base runner, as Fernando Benavides gets a pretty big lead there at first base. Another pickoff attempt. I'll tell you what, if Marcus Lynch makes that throw a little bit closer to the bag, that'd be a very close call.
Well, he's working it. He is working it. He wants to make sure that Fernando doesn't get anywhere close to second base.
Another pitch fouled off by Derek Chrisman, who's doing a great job staying alive there at the plate with several foul balls here. He's protecting the plate and protecting himself and
trying to get his runner onto second base.
Definitely, and with the speed of Benavides, a ground ball or anything hit in any direction would get Benavides into scoring position with no outs in this inning, with the big Omar Cervantes, a first baseman, up to bat, and then the cleanup hitter, Sergio Chavez, in the hole. We'll see if Chrisman here can get something going for Laredo. Here's a 1-2 pitch as the runner goes to second. Throw down is high, and he is safe.
And that gave Marcus Lynch all the reason to worry, because exactly what he was expecting would happen happened. Fernando Benavides got his way all the way to second base the minute Marcus Lynch wasn't looking.
Definitely, and that was a great coverage. We have to give credit there to the shortstop. Great coverage there, because if that ball gets into the outfield, that's 2 stolen bases for Fernando Benavides. As Fernando Benavides is on second base, up to bat for Laredo, we have the number 3 hitter, the first baseman, number 26, Omar Cervantes. First pitch takes a fastball. In the first inning, Mr. Cervantes struck out looking. We'll see if he can put the barrel to the ball here. Here's an 0-1 pitch, another pickoff attempt. And boy, Mr. Lynch even has his defense a little shaken up there.
That's right. Well, that one almost got away from him. He's got to be worried about Fernando already. Got 1 base on him, and now he's going to try to steal another, so he's going to try to keep him honest the rest of the way.
Definitely, and the shortstop is telling Mr. Lynch that, hey, we have him taken care of here. We're messing with him. We're talking to him. We're clapping our gloves. We're keeping him honest. You focus on the batter, and let's get out of this inning so we can go bat.
And he's got to worry about this batter. This batter has some lumber in his hands.
Another solid pitch there, changeup by Marcus Lynch that misses just a bit high and outside. Great eye there by Omar Cervantes, first baseman. Here's a 1-1 pitch.
And there it is in the gap, right between short and third. And the runner's going to try to get home here. And safe at home.
Great piece of hitting there by Omar Cervantes, hitting the opposite way through the hole between third and shortstop. An RBI bringing the speedy Fernando Benavides, who Lynch was worried about, as you mentioned, home. And Laredo takes the lead here in the top of the 3rd inning, 3-2.
Great job of base running by Fernando Benavides. Got on his horse and was not going to stop until he got home.
Yes, and that could have been a close play at the plate if the throw was not up the line. A great throw by the center fielder, just a bit up the line, as I mentioned. And now we have the DA, Sergio Chavez, up to bat. Big swing and a miss there.
That's right. So now Laredo's going to be leading 3-2 here in the top of the third, and we've got an opportunity to score with this big hitter in the box right now.
Yes, there's an 0-1 count, 0-1 pitch here. Another strike. a slider, as we can see here. Great slider that just catches the inside corner at the very end there.
Chewy, like you mentioned earlier, he's had some great production in this tournament. Let's see if he can keep that going right here in the third.
And he strikes out. What a great pitch there by Marcus Lynch. Strikes out the DH for Laredo.
And a good cut by Sergio Chavez, the designated hitter. And tell you what, Marcus Lynch is going to try to keep his team in it by throwing everything he's got.
Number 5 hitter Julio Cesar Taboada, the center fielder, up to bat, who swings away and fouls one off.
And again, another runner with a great set of wheels on him. Julio here can number 15 can really motor when he gets on. So it's interesting opportunity for Laredo to get another set of runs here. We've got 2 outs and good base runner on, and one at the plate that gets on base could certainly move his way into home.
Definitely. He fell into an 0-2 count here. Let's see if Marcus Lynch delivers a high fastball. Just misses. One-two pitch, hit to the shortstop. He doesn't bobble this one, and he gets a force out at second base. Great play there by the shortstop.
That's right, and that ends the inning for hometown Laredo, and Central Michigan coming up to bat in the bottom half of the third right here at Uni-Trade Stadium in beautiful Laredo, Texas, part of the 2018 Palomino World Series. Pony International Baseball and Softball, a great organization. And again, thank our sponsors, Oliveira Audiology, Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, Dr. Marta Martinez, Andy's Auto Air and Andy's Mobility, Robert Rosas, his group, A-Rod Construction, Blue Top, Deacon Henry Mejia over at Blue Top Digital Reprographics, Carlos Canales, a CPA, City of Laredo, Laredo CVB, thank you for your help, Line Decker Construction, with the premier construction companies in all of Texas, Liquid Studio Group, the outlet shops at Laredo. Great shopping there. Play more. Soon to open with bowling, zip lines, rope course, rock climbing, big restaurant and bar. Fantastic place. Stat Emergency Center with multiple locations to serve you here and in Eagle Pass and Del Rio. Danny's, La Carreta and La Roca. Mr. Danny Lopez, great contributor to sports and community here in Laredo. Again, sponsors, we couldn't do it without you, so thank you. Hats off to all of you all for your support and your commitment to the youth of Laredo, Texas, the nation, and the world. So, again, the Pony Palomino 18 and under World Series. Teams from Chinese Taipei, Puerto Rico, Mexico, the 4 corners of the U.S., California, Michigan, Ohio, Texas, and your hometown Laredo, all engaged in a winner-take-all tournament. Again, some great alumni who've played here, played Major League Baseball, have come through this tournament. Chewy, what are your thoughts on this? It's been a pretty good tournament so far.
Yes, it has, and we've been able to see these young players showcase their great talents and showcase, the names on the front of their jerseys, and show what Central Michigan, as you mentioned, Laredo, Puerto Rico, all over the world, what kind of baseball is played, and bringing it all to one area and one place is great for the city of Laredo, great for baseball, great for these players, and just overall just great in general. Just great tournament here.
And so Lance McDonald, number 28 for Central Michigan, in the box.
Takes a high fastball there, 1-1 count. Marco Correa's team again rallies and takes the lead here. See if he can keep his composure and have some great command here and get out of this inning quickly. 1-1 pitch there, and a high curveball that misses, as the catcher's talking again about his release and going out there and talking to him.
Trying to calm his pitcher down and tell him, hey, we've got to run on these guys. Let's just keep them honest. Stay focused, throw it hard, and we'll take care of the rest. What a great opening ceremony Friday night. Got to hear the national anthem for Puerto Rico, and boy, let me tell you that.
Beautiful national anthem there.
It is, absolutely. Boy, I can see why they've got the kind of patriotism that they do. They just, it makes you want to love that land. And Mexico, every time, you know, we hear that national anthem, we have the deepest amount of respect for our neighbors to the south and their love of country, and of course Chinese Taipei. Yeah. They were proud to hear their song here last night. So
probably first time for a lot of people hearing the Chinese national anthem there as Lance McDonald strikes out, another strikeout for Matt Correa, and up to bat we have the right fielder Blake Plowdry, number 17. He takes a high fastball that misses. But as you mentioned, Mr. Belmar, it's a great opening ceremony, the national anthems, all the players together, the guest speakers, the fans in the crowd, and you know, and a great game. Honestly, probably the best game of the tournament. One-run game right after that ceremony, and all the players got to watch. It was a hometown game. A lot of people were here, and it was just a great opening day to this tournament.
That it was, and like I said, just great to have these other teams from around the world here, have their flags flying next to ours. It's been a great tournament so far. The folks that I've spoken to that have come in from Youngstown or from Mount Pleasant, Michigan, certainly loving Laredo and loving the food and the culture.
Definitely, yes. They all got to experience some tacos.
That's right. And, you know, in our program, we've got the Laredo Theater Guild International putting on a production of In the Heights, Lin-Manuel Miranda play being produced by Linda Howland and Selena Oliveira. And we got a runner out first.
Blake Plowdry grounds out to the shortstop, Derek Chrisman. Great play there by Derek Chrisman.
As I was saying, if you're watching us on our live stream here on YouTube, Uni-Trade channel, go out tonight, 7:30 at Tammy U for LTGI's In the Heights. A great play, local talent, and some folks from Puerto Rico actually performing in the play.
Oh, yeah, that's definitely a great play. Any play by Texas A&M International University or at Texas A&M International University are great plays that a lot of young people who want to take up acting and, you know, take up a theater major and at the university level love to attend and get to enjoy that. It's a great family event as well.
It is, and a great production. Laredo Theater Guild International has been doing this for a long time, 10 years on the big stage.
Great play there by the second baseman.
Did you see that reach?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Great pick, yes. Definitely.
Laid himself out, grabbed that ball, put it in the first baseman's glove, and end the inning for him with a one-run lead by Laredo as we go into the fourth inning. TAMU, a fine university, great facilities, and they put on some great plays down there. They have collaborated with Laredo Theater Guild International before. Laredo Community College also a big supporter of Laredo Theater Guild.
Oh, definitely, yes. I've been to some plays at Laredo Community College, and I was in a play in high school at Laredo Community College, and it is a great experience. And I personally right now attend Southwestern University. That's a big-time theater school.
You bet.
And you know, looking at the program here at TAMU and the program here at Laredo Community College, they're all very similar and they're all very great programs. And
fantastic. So you're at Southwestern there in Georgetown, Texas.
Yes, just north of Austin. Yes, sir.
There you go. We've got some alumni there. Orlando Navarro's daughter, Alejandra,
yes,
just graduated from that school, and Morgan Gilpin is there attending as well. Some Laredoans at Southwestern.
Yes, my sister actually graduated with Alejandra Navarro at the same class at Southwestern University. Great university in Central Texas.
And what a beautiful town Georgetown is. You got to love it. They have the beautiful square there. I have some friends that are from Georgetown. Used to own a big Western wear store. Gold's on the Square. Morton Gold. Morton, if you're watching on YouTube, on this channel, my hat's off. Hope you're doing well.
as we get ready to start the top of the fourth for Laredo. Here's the first pitch by Marcus Lynch. And that's a ball taken low and away. We have number 47, Daniel Quiroz, the right fielder, up to bat for Laredo. Second pitch is grounded to second base and bobbled again and thrown away. And the runners are going to advance to second, standing up. That was a weird approach there by the second baseman.
That really was. It got away from him initially and then just kept coming out of his glove. And then he threw it left to the first baseman.
And the runner's able to advance. Yes, seems like he lost his footing taking that famous 1-2 step to field the ground ball. It seems like he lost his footing there and lost balance. And, you know, once that happens, your throw is not going to be on target.
That's
Tough
right.
play there for the second baseman. Greg Campos, the left fielder, now up to bat for Laredo, Texas.
And we've got a runner in scoring position here, and so let's see what Marcus Lynch can do to get himself out of this.
He delivers a strike on his first pitch there, a solid fastball in the outside corner. Marcus Lynch steps off to keep the runner honest. Interesting approach here by Marcus Lynch, worrying very much about the runners in this game, more than we've seen from any pitcher here in this tournament. Oh, pitch.
And he gets him on the leg.
That one's going to hurt just for a little bit.
That's right, and it's okay. As they say in our neighborhood, se vale sobar.
A curveball that just gets away there from Marcus Lynch hits Mr. Greg Campos right in the ankle area. Seems to be okay there, standing at first base. Here's a catcher for Laredo, Texas, who had a 2-run RBI there in the second inning. See if he can keep his hot streak of hitting, even from last night, as we mentioned. First pitch to him, swung on and missed. What a big hack there from him.
That's right, boy. If he gets a piece of that one, that thing's going to sail out of here. And he has been hot, so you are absolutely right about that. He has just been on fire in this tournament, and you got to love it. You got to love the catcher supporting his pitcher by bringing in some runs.
Most definitely. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Lynch. Trickled.
And it gets away from him at first base. Garcia advances second, and we've got a runner at third as well.
Solid play there by the third baseman, yet he will get an error on that throw to first base.
Boy, that one got away from him as he let it out of his hand, and it just went sailing, yes, allowing the two runners to advance. Eric Garcia to second, and and who is over here on, I can't see the runner's number, who is now at third base. So we've got two runners in scoring position. Greg Campos here at third base.
Mr. Greg Campos at third base.
Our left fielder right here at third base.
Guillermo Salcedo, the third baseman, up to bat. Left-handed hitter who takes a strike. And I must say, Mr. Belmaris, as somebody who played third base, that's one of the more tougher plays to make there, throwing on the run like that. And a tough break there for the third baseman.
That's right. He played that ball well, got on the bag, and then just couldn't make that throw to first base accurately.
Pitch taken outside there by Guillermo Salcedo.
That was a good eye. He wanted that one, but he laid off of it, so good for him. With runners on scoring position.
Another speedy runner there for Laredo.
That's right. That's right.
With one out here, Laredo with a 3-2 lead, 1-1 count. Pitch swung on,
nice. And that one is over the head of the center fielder.
Yes, in the gap, left center field.
Rolling all the way to the warning track, and here comes Eric Garcia, the catcher.
Stand-up double.
Stand-up double, and Eric Garcia lumbering all the way home.
What a great piece of hitting there by Guillermo Salcedo, the number 9 hitter for Laredo.
hitting it into the gap all the way down to the warning track. And
that's always big for a ball club when your number 9 hitter comes through and then you come back to the top of the lineup with only 1 out. And as we mentioned, it was a stand-up double, so you have a runner in scoring position on second base, and your team takes the lead 5-2. And what better to do it in front of your home crowd here at the beautiful Uni-Trade Stadium in Laredo, Texas.
And it is a win or go home game here.
Another ball hit to left field, but caught. What a great play there by the left fielder for Central Michigan, Ryan Schaefer.
Boy, that thing goes over his head. This is going to be another double and another run scored. Good job playing defense here by Ryan Schaefer.
That would be a tough hole for Marcus Lynch there, giving up another run and another hit, as Laredo now has 5 hits on the afternoon to complement those 5 runs. Great defense by Laredo with no errors in the game. We'll see if number 24, Derek Chrisman, who's up to bat, the shortstop, can bring this run in.
Oh, and he takes it one in the hip.
That's a tough place to get hit there.
Yeah, that one's going to hurt. That's going to leave a mark. And he limps his way over to first base. He's going to talk to his first base coach there, Darryl Minton, and see what needs to happen next. Can he still run? Umpire's going to give him a moment to gain his composure and walk that off. But that's going to hurt, Chewy.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully there's some icy hot in the dugout for him.
Absolutely.
And we have number 26, a big boy, Omar Cervantes, a first baseman who came up big for Laredo in the previous inning. We'll see if he can keep up his hot hitting as well.
That's right.
And once again, Laredo, early stages of their lineup, have Sergio Chavez, our designated hitter, big-time hitter, on deck. Solid pitch there by Marcus Lynch, just misses a bit outside. Going back to his changeup as of yet. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Cervantes.
And that one sails out of here, foul ball.
Closer to our window here.
That's right, went right over us. First base runner is still kind of grabbing his hip there and rubbing. Derek Chrisman, after getting hit in the hip by Marcus Lynch.
An old trick that my coaches used to say in baseball is you grab a baseball and you rub it directly where you got hit. Maybe it'll go away. One of the baseball myths. Oh, and it hits the runner, so Derek Chrisman will be out. That's
unfortunate. That's right. Unfortunate. And I know he tried to stop a bit to keep it from hitting him, and then took that bounce and went right at him.
Tough break there for Derek Chrisman. Gets hit twice in this inning.
That's right. What an unfortunate series of events for Derek Chrisman.
You can tell by his body language he's in pain.
That he is. On both ends. He felt the sting of the pitch and then just felt bad for getting in the way of that grounder.
As we have our live broadcast here on the camera right here, we look and we say, what a great job here by Laredo in this inning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Laredo's done a fantastic job in this inning, and Marco Rea back on the mound. Again, still throwing heat. Still looks like he's got a fresh arm.
And he gets some insurance runs there by his batters, and Eric Garcia coming in, and great job by Guillermo Salceda having that stand-up double, bringing in a couple of runs and giving Laredo, like as I mentioned, some insurance runs. Great job there by him.
That's got to be a boost of confidence for him. He's got a little room to experiment a little bit, throw a little harder, throw some change-ups, and just he's got room to play with because he's got some great insurance runs, as you said.
Definitely, as we watch him warm up here, it looks like he still has his great composure, his great control, and he looks very comfortable there on the mound. And as we mentioned earlier, it's a great pitching duel here. Unfortunately, a couple of errors by the Central Michigan defense puts Marcus Lynch in a 5-1 hole. We'll see if the Central Michigan bats can come back and spark up some offense that's much needed in this game. As Mr. Belmares mentioned earlier, and as every one of you knows that's watching, it is a must-win game for both teams.
That it is. You got to win or you go home. Now, if you're in Laredo, you're not going to go very far, but if you're from Central Michigan, that's a long ways home.
That's a tough flight back, especially
sure
after
is.
2 straight losses. So as we mentioned, we'll see if Central Michigan can spark up some hits here and get some base runners. As we have number 23 for Central Michigan. I believe, yes. Number 23, Cameron Sheridan, who's coming in, I believe, to pinch hit. Correction, Garrett Sheridan. I apologize.
Well, and it was hard to read on the roster slip, and so we're hoping we get it right with Garrett Sheridan. If not, we can have somebody from the Central Michigan team come over and let us know, and we'll make that correction.
First pitch to Mr. Sheridan is a ball taken low and away. We'll see. Haven't seen much of Mr. Sheridan in this tournament. We'll see what kind of bat he has. Great eye as of now, takes the second ball.
Well, it's good to see that his coach has confidence in him and wants to bring him in and hopefully produce some runs for his team.
After two pitches that are off location, we have the pitch coach for Laredo out on the mound.
Well, that's an interesting choice of music for the fans here at the stadium. We've got the Atlanta Braves Tomahawk Chop playing on the loudspeakers. I see a couple guys doing the Tomahawk Chop down there, having some fun here at Uni-Trade Stadium. Come on down if you're watching us live on YouTube at the Uni-Trade channel. Come on down and enjoy the game live and in person. We've got some fantastic baseball.
Definitely the Atlanta Braves, a young upcoming team and a solid team in the 90s, one of the more dominant teams in the 90s, so very famous song there played here in beautiful Laredo, Texas. Here's a 2-0 pitch by Marco Rea, misses low again and jumps out. He's very behind in this at-bat to Garrett Sheridan. Here's a 3-0 pitch right down the pipes. There's his fastball that's been commanding throughout the whole game.
Well, that pitch looked like it was on a rail. It went straight down the middle. And Garrett Sheridan just watched it come on in.
Here's a 3-1 pitch. Another fastball hit towards the Central Michigan dugout. Look out there.
A little late on that swing, but he got a piece of it.
I tell you what, Mr. Belmontes, as we look next door to our camera room, and what a great job these cameramen are doing, and the sound and everything, all this whole production, this whole tournament is well done. Great job by everybody.
It's great to have these folks come out here and do this and be able to represent Laredo well. This is all Laredo talent in that booth. Gotta love them and volunteering their time, as well as coming out here and performing the way they are with the cameras and the Jumbotron, the music. Great crew in there.
And we couldn't ask for more better weather this weekend.
Absolutely. Just a few clouds in the sky, but nothing threatening, and a little bit of a light breeze now.
We have number 8, Ryan Schaefer, the left fielder at bat. Another odd location pitch for Marco Rea, who seems to be losing his composure here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We see Derek Chrisman, the shortstop, talking to him, letting him know, hey, just throw strikes, let the defense play for you.
That's right. We've got your back. We've got you covered. Just focus on that batter and let them have it.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Schaefer. Swung on and hit to the first baseman. What a play there. 1 out at first. Almost gets a double play there. Good cover by Marco Rea, but the speed by Ryan Schaefer, and he gets into first base safely.
And good hustle on that first baseman to come charging at that ball rather than waiting on it, and getting that spin move and throwing it to second base.
That's one of the tougher 3-6-1 double plays that you'll see. That's a tougher play in baseball to make, and Laredo almost pulls it off. As I mentioned, great cover by Marco Rea, trying to help himself out. Laredo's still in good position here, as we have Zeke Barnett, the shortstop for Central Michigan, who had a big hit earlier in the game, driving in one of the runs with a bunt attempt on the left field line that hooks just foul.
He's got that speedy Ryan Schaefer on first base, and looked like he was trying to advance him over to second. He had a nice healthy lead when that bunt went sailing left of the foul line.
Definitely an interesting call by the coach as Ryan Schaefer hits a double into the gap, scoring a run, and now they have him bunting. Oh, pickoff attempt, and they get Ryan Schaefer at first base. Ryan Schaefer, we have our first pickoff of the tournament. Marco Rea with a quick move to first base, and great cover there by Omar Cervantes, and they get the runner out there.
Boy, that was smooth. Sniper quick and just turned around and nailed him before he could get back to the bag.
0-2 count now. Zeke Barnett falls in a hole. The shortstop, the number 9 hitter for Central Michigan. We'll see if he can have get another hit here for Central Michigan here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 0-2 fastball, a little bit harder fastball thrown there by Marco Rea. Misses a bit high.
Yeah, that looked like it had a little velocity to it. Looked like his arm was still fresh. And
one thing that I've noticed with these pitchers throughout this tournament is as the game goes on, the velocity on that fastball gets higher. Unfortunately, Marco Rea changes to a slider and it hits Zeke Barnett in the arm. Several hit batters here in this game, and Zeke Barnett gets a free base there. Second time on base for Zeke Barnett. Great on base percentage for him.
He's had a good tournament as well. He's had a good tournament.
Back to the top of the lineup for Central Michigan. Dangerous hitter, left-handed hitter number 4, Charlie Newton, the center fielder. Made a couple of good plays early on in the game. We'll see if he can start another 2-out rally for Central Michigan.
That's right. And if you're just joining us, we're in the bottom of the 4th with Laredo leading 5-2 over Central Michigan.
Runner thinks about going to second base, but after that pickoff attempt and Eric Garcia's quick throw to second base, he thinks about it twice. The speedy Zeke Barnett. Marcus Lynch attempting several pickoff moves, and Marco Rea is the one that gets the call and gets an out there. 1-0 count. Solid fastball there. Great pitch.
That's right. Heard that glove pop, and batter was just looking at it, and it sailed past him.
That may be why Mr. Eric Garcia's thumb is bothering him a little bit. That fastball had some steam there.
That it does. That it does. You may be right.
Another pickoff attempt, and they get him again.
Fantastic throw. Marco Rea picking off his second runner at first base.
Michigan getting caught in their secondary lead, and Marco Rea flashing his pickoff moves to first base. And my goodness, what a move. That was quick, and Central Michigan paying the price here.
That's a good way to put out a little fire there with the Central Michigan.
And as we mentioned, no arguments from the coaches, as these umpires, all their calls have been accurate, correct, and good. Just great overall umpiring throughout this tournament.
They are a good crew. Everybody's been pleased. I know the coaches haven't had to argue one call yet with these umpires. They've been spot on, as you've said. Again, want to thank our sponsors, Andy's Auto Air, Andy's Mobility, A-Rod Construction, Blue Top Digital Reprographics, Kenny Duncan and his crew over there, Carlos A. Canales, CPA, the City of Laredo, Laredo CVB, Eileen Ramos, Linedecker Construction, Gary Linedecker, outstanding individual. The Outlet Shops at Laredo, great shopping down there at the on River Street, down at the Rio Grande. Rotex Truck Center, Mr. Richard Rosas and his group. Rudy's Barbecue, great barbecue. Gotta love that. Stat Emergency Center with multiple locations to serve you. Tots to Teens, Pediatric Dentistry. AEP Texas, great company, great community supporter. Advanced Spine Pain Solutions, Dr. Marte Martinez.
As we have the dangerous DH for Laredo, Sergio Chavez up to bat here. We see if he can get something started here for Laredo. As we're looking at our sponsors, you have to wonder, it would be a must for some of these teams to visit these restaurants and the outlets there.
That's right. They've got some great shops out there, Nike, Under Armour, Adidas, and some restaurants. They've got a brand new pizza place called Stone and Stein. Make your own pizza. You get to choose your toppings, your crust, your sauce. They put it in a turnstile wheel and a wood-fired grill, and it comes out fantastic.
That's definitely a must-try for anybody here in Laredo and maybe some of these teams here. As Sergio Chavez fouls off another pitch by Marcus Lynch, who looks like seems to have changed his delivery to home plate to, as you mentioned earlier, a little bit of a sidearm delivery there. And Sergio Chavez falls into a quick 1-2 count here in a little bit of a hole. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Nasty curveball there by Marcus Lynch.
Boy, he threw that just right and got Sergio swinging, helping his cause, trying to keep the game close, not let Laredo get too far ahead of him.
Definitely.
And the speedy Julio Cesar Taboada
fouls one straight back there. Softer changeup there by Marcus Lynch. As we've mentioned here, solid pitching performances by many of the pitchers here in this tournament. Just unfortunate several errors that cost teams the lead and some runs a little bit. Marcus Lynch is pitching his butt off, as we can see here. He's throwing very hard, gets Julio Cesar Taboada into a 0-2 count really quickly. See if he can capitalize on this. Throws a curveball in the dirt that bounces over the catcher, but nothing to worry about. No runners on base.
That's right. He's been battling as hard as he can and didn't get the defense support that he needed from his team with 2 errors so far. But he has hung on tight, and Laredo leads it by 3. And he's trying to keep it there, striking distance for his teammates to come out with their bats and hopefully catch up in the bottom of the 5th. And we are now at the top of the 5th, again with Laredo leading 5-2.
Definitely a hard ground ball. Another weird approach by the second baseman, but he makes the play. Wonder if there's a little hill or something on second base. It's making his footing a little off there, but great play nonetheless.
He approached it with some caution. He had a little dance before he picked up that ball. Maybe he senses something in front of him.
Daniel Quiroz, the right fielder, takes a strike there, curveball, just on the outside corner. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another curveball that is just a little bit low. Pitcher Marcus Lynch was looking for a swing there. Great location nonetheless. Solid piece.
There you go, in the gap there.
In the gap, that should be a stand-up double. But great play by the left fielder. Keeps the runner honest and keeps him there at first base. Daniel Quiroz with a solid piece of hitting, going outside fastball, going the opposite way.
And so let's see what we can do with a runner on base.
Another little two-out rally here in this game. It sound like broken records, but that's what's been the case here for these teams. Is we have number 6, Greg Campos, the left fielder, up to bat. Fastball just a bit inside, misses for ball 1.
Campos was able to get on base last inning and continues to be a run producer.
Another inside fastball that almost hits Campos as a catcher attempts to throw to first base and the ball gets away.
And here he comes. And he's sliding into third.
So double steal there, 2 bases there for
on an errant throw from the catcher over to first base. I don't think the first baseman was waiting for that. I think he
definitely not
caught him off guard.
Him and the catcher are looking at each other. There's a lack of communication there, and it's costly. With 2 outs, a runner goes from first base to scoring position for Greg Campos, the left fielder, who has a hit in this game. We'll see if he can bring this run home and give Marco Rea another cushion run. Ball bobbled by the third baseman, and he gets him out. Big play there by the third baseman.
Absolutely, guarding that corner well, and he's a gold glove in the making. He just did a fantastic job reaching out, grabbing that ball, getting his footing, rifling it down to first base.
Mr. Lucas Schweinsberg, I mentioned him earlier. Great defense there, great defense throughout the tournament, and I'm sure he's had great defense growing up and playing baseball back there in Central Michigan. Solid baseball player.
That's right. And some of these young men already signing their letters of intent, go on to the next level, university, some playing D1, some playing D2. Fantastic opportunity for them to continue their baseball careers. And as I've said, this tournament has produced several major leaguers who have played.
Definitely. Little League is such a great atmosphere and such a great start for all baseball players, and I'm sure a lot of people here in this building, including yourself and myself, played Little League, and events like this Pony Protect Our Nation's Youth, the Palomino World Series. We can't stress it enough. What a great event here in Laredo, Texas for these kids and for the coaches, for the parents, for just the experience alone and traveling and just playing the game of baseball is just so great for the city of Laredo, for these kids and everybody involved making this happen and getting everything together here.
Absolutely. We've got a good little crowd here at Uni-Trade Stadium, home of the Dos Laredos Tecolotes, the Tecos with their championship banners hanging out there in the right field. 1953, 1954, 1958, 1977, 1989 champions of the Mexican League. Great to have them in Laredo again. It's there's a lot of fan attraction to them. They have a long history with us playing here at Old West Martin Field, and now here at the brand new facilities at Uni-Trade Stadium.
Yes, Veterans Field, another field that would be very capable of hosting an event like this here in Laredo, Texas. Great team, the Tecolotes, home to this stadium now, and as you mentioned, they make the comeback to Laredo, Texas, and is a huge fan attraction here in Laredo and in Nuevo Laredo, and having teams that play professionally in Mexico and having scouts from those Mexico teams able to watch kids and play in tournaments like this. Just overall, as I mentioned earlier, baseball is absolutely on fire right now.
Absolutely, and again, playing in this fantastic stadium, Uni-Trade Stadium.
Top of the order here for Central Michigan as Charlie Newton takes a high fastball that misses everything completely and hits a back screen there.
Again, Uni-Trade Stadium, a great company in of itself. Eduardo Garza, licenciado Eduardo Garza, phenomenal individual, great community sponsor, community supporter, gives of his time and of his talent and obviously of his treasure to provide support for this stadium as well as for other nonprofits and charitable organizations throughout the community. Great company, Uni-Trade, big employer here in Laredo, and also big mover and shaker in the import-export business.
Most definitely. Uni-Trade, a great overall company here in Laredo, Texas, as you mentioned. Here's a 2-0 pitch by Marco Rea, who struggled with his location. There's a good fastball there, as the catcher went out in between our little talk about Uni-Trade there and was letting him know that his release point was a little high there and just needs to fix it, and letting him know, hey, we have a 3-run lead. Another fastball right down the middle. Great pitch there by Marco Rea.
Laredo continues to hold on to a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the fifth in a win or go home game. Loser goes home, and the winner continues on the path towards the championship.
Tough play by the second baseman, and he gets him out. What a play and what a stretch by the first baseman.
Absolutely. Fantastic play by the second baseman. running to his right, and then pivoting and leaping, getting that throw over to first base.
And can you guess who it is? The speedy and the man of the hour, Mr. Fernando Benavides.
That's right. Quick moves. Reflexes like a cat. Jumped up and got that ball back to first. And a nice stretch by the first baseman over there, Omar Cervantes.
Now up to bat for Central Michigan, number 25, Colin Sherrar, the second baseman. A couple of big plays here. Takes a fastball inside that almost gets him on the shoulder.
That's right. Just go whiz right by his chin. Gave him an afternoon shave there.
Great location, top right corner on that fastball.
And he was working that spot. That first time was just a little wide, but this time he got it right where he wanted it. Inside, nice and tight, where the batter couldn't reach it.
Most definitely. And we can see great vision by the home plate umpire. Great vision there. Some of those pitches are tough to see, and he's spot on today. Here's a 2-1 pitch to Sherrar. Bunt attempt. Questionable bunt attempt there. And now the count is at 2-2, and as we've guessed it before, he is swinging away at this pitch.
That's right. I wasn't sure if he was committed to that last bunt. He kind of did it last minute, wasn't sure, and looked kind of awkward.
Definitely. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Strikes out looking on the outside corner. What a pitch by Marco Correa.
Looked like it was on a rail all the way down the middle, sped right by him, and got him looking. Marco Correa defending that lead.
Now up to bat, the designated hitter who has an RBI for Central Michigan today, Mr. Seth Stratton.
2 outs here at the bottom of the fifth with 2 more innings to go after this.
Solid pitch there by Marco Correa, another strike.
And he has control. He continues to demonstrate his ability to throw deep into the game. Command of his pitches, good velocity.
Another check swing just on the top inside corner. Great location again by Marco Correa, who is pitching very well this afternoon here in his hometown of Laredo, Texas. Quick 0-2 count for Stratton. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Low fastball. Great location there by Marco Correa.
Tell you what, those pitches look like they're laser guided right into the catcher's glove there. Great accuracy, great command of his pitches.
As Marco Correa nods, here's the 1-2 pitch. Just tapped foul. Way to protect the plate there, Mr.
That's
Stratton.
right, trying to stay alive. And tell you what, that is the motto of this particular game. Got to stay alive, got to win to continue on in the tournament and hopefully reach the championship game.
With a 1-2 count here in the bottom of the fifth inning as Laredo leads 5-2. Here's a 1-2 pitch by Marco Correa. High fastball that just misses the plate.
Well, but he's got some steam coming off of that ball, though. He is motoring that thing home.
It's a time called as a bullpen for Central Michigan runs into the dugout. 2-2 count here for Seth Stratton, the designated hitter. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Nasty curveball, and he strikes out swinging.
Fantastic job by Marco Correa trying to keep his team in the lead as they come into the top of the sixth, leading the Central Michigan North Zone champion 5-2.
And as we must say, just like Laredo and his team, Marco Correa is on fire today, ladies and gentlemen.
Quick shout out to our umpires who I have listed here. From San Antonio, Texas, Mario Alonso. From Laredo, Texas, Frank Lopez. From San Antonio, Robert Redding. Also from Laredo, Texas, Tomas Rodriguez Jr. And from San Antonio, Raul Urabaso. Tournament directors, Abel Gorena. Pony Baseball and Softball President and CEO, Abe Key in the house. Joe Gallardi from West Zone Vice President. Lynn Parnell, the South Zone Vice President for Pony. Arnulfo Banda, South Zone from Mustang Bronco Division Director. Joshua Rendon, Game Changer Coordinator. Homer Cantu, Field Director. Yvette Cantu, Field Director. And Mario Silva, Field Director. And our own Laredo, Texas, Laredo Pony President Richard Rosas. The Mexico Director, Jose Humberto Lopez Caballero, also joining us today here at this tournament. They were present last night for a great ceremony, opening ceremony. Got to hear the Chinese Taipei national anthem, Puerto Rico and Mexico. Fantastic job by Webb County Judge Dano Tijerina, delivering an inspiring message to the boys from the four corners of the U.S. and around the world who are participating in this tournament, and also joined by all the directors that I just mentioned last night. Dr. Marta Martinez delivering an invocation for us. Great job by everyone who was here last night. Thank you to the crew in the booth. They were running the cameras and the Jumbotron.
Definitely, and as we look into the last part of our online broadcast, great organization overall. Great program, and well done.
Absolutely, and our big shout out to Jacob out there who put this thing together with his crew to live stream through the Uni-Trade channel. Fantastic job to all the guys, Artie and Artie Jr., manning the cameras.
The catcher, Eric Garcia, as we can't say enough about him. He hits the wall but has to stay at first base. Man, the catcher for Laredo, Texas, his bat is absolutely on fire, just as his team and his pitcher.
He's continued to produce runs. He has been, like you said, on fire. Just cranking that ball down that left field line, hitting the back fence, and luckily that bounce went right to the fielder, or else he'd have had
extra bases.
2 bases. Now the umpires look like they're going to come out here and visit a little bit about something.
I think they're talking about to see whether or not it was a home run, because there is a black railing, if you can see, on the outside of the fence that is connected to the wall, and if it hits that black railing or the yellow line, it is out of the park, and it would be a home run.
That is true. Of course, that railing there to protect the fans who are sitting in the grassy knolls that we have out there. And the yellow line above the fence there denotes that if it were to hit that section of the fence, it is home run.
Definitely, and I believe that in this tournament, with the great camera production and crew right next to us, we do have instant replay. I do believe we have instant replay, so if the umpires decide to look at it, there are several cameras on the field, and I believe the closest camera to the ball that was hit would be able to see whether or not it is going to be a home run. But nonetheless, great piece of hitting there by Eric Garcia, the catcher. And I believe the call stands as a single as of now. The umpires clarifying to Laredo's manager what their call was.
And to continue to have a discussion here outside of the Laredo dugout with the umpire.
And all of Laredo's players are outside of the dugout ready to celebrate to see whether or not it was a home run.
And let's see on the instant replay, it looks like
it hits the top of the wall, the very top of the wall.
But does not necessarily hit the...
to look at the instant replay and talk to the director here. As we look into the crowd, we see that Youngstown, Ohio has arrived. Ready to play, I believe, in the next game.
Here at 4 o'clock at Uni-Trade Stadium.
Yes, the 2 umpires, the home plate umpire and the third base side umpire, both talking to the director whether or not it was a home run or not.
And then we'll be playing the winner of yesterday's game, Chinese Taipei, a powerhouse team who has just been phenomenal in their first game out. So
I do believe, Mr. Belmontes, that the call does stand, that he stays at first base. And as we mentioned earlier, we can't discredit what a solid piece of hitting there.
That was, absolutely. Eric Garcia continuing to lay the wood to that ball as it comes across the plate, and well hit, and just didn't quite get out of here yet.
Mr. Garcia, I believe, as I mentioned, 3 for 3 there with 2 singles and a double. And now up to bat, we have the man of the hour, who in the last inning, Mr. Sauceda, the third baseman, had a double that brought in a run, 2 runs, excuse me, for Laredo, giving them the 5-2 lead.
And Laredo bats have been active today. 7 hits, no errors, 5 runs scored. They continue to be productive, helping their pitcher Marco Rea,
who has only given up 4 hits.
That's right. And against a powerhouse team like Central Michigan,
who won a tough North Zone there.
They did, and it's a testament to Marco Rea's ability and his teammates' defensive maneuvers to keep these guys at 2 runs and nursing a 3-run lead right now.
Runner goes, a beautiful hit and run attempt there. The throws away.
Very well executed bunt gets Eric Garcia over to second base, and he's speedy. Sauceda is over at first base.
Yes, as it was a sacrifice bunt attempt, but a off throw there by the third baseman has the first baseman get off the bag, and Sauceda is safe. What a good position here for Laredo, as there's no outs and 2 runners on base in the top of the 6th inning here with the top of the order, Fernando Benavides, who had a very, very good play there at second base. Tough hop, and he gets the out. Let's see if he can complement that with a good hit here. Another bunt attempt, fake bunt attempt. That's a
very well executed play that bunt was, and Eric Garcia, not the fastest man on the team, but certainly able to get over to second base in a hurry.
Definitely, as we see the first baseman creep in there. Bunted just foul there by Fernando Benavides, who's had a solid bat. Questionable bunt call, but any run that Laredo can get, if he moves these runners to second and third with 1 out, and you have Derek Chrisman, Omar Cervantes, and Sergio Chavez due up, that's prime time for Laredo.
That's right. Great opportunity to bring in some more runs and pad their lead a bit. Again, remembering that the winner of this game continues.
Another base hit. Another base hit there for Laredo. The runner is held up at third, but with no outs and the bases loaded with the shortstop, Derek Chrisman up to bat. Laredo is dealing right now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. We've got bases loaded now. Derek Chrisman, who was hit by a pitch in the last inning, had to walk that off. It looked like it hurt. It looked like it continued to hurt as he made his way down to first base earlier, and looks like he's recovered well and ready to go at it.
I was about to mention, I believe Marcus Lynch's afternoon is over. Great job, though, by him. A couple of errors, two costly errors. Without those errors, this would be a completely different ball game. He pitched very well this afternoon, and we'll see who gets the ball here for Central Michigan to take over in the top of the 6th inning with no outs here.
Fantastic young man, Marcus Lynch from Central Michigan, the North Zone champs. Pitched a phenomenal game. Unfortunately, had a few errors by his teammates, but did very, very well against a powerhouse Laredo team with strong bats. Hats off to Marcus Lynch for a great afternoon.
The new pitcher for Central Michigan, number 27, John Cogwell. Seems to have a nice curveball there in his warm-up. As we look back into the crowd, Youngstown, Ohio arrived, and now Chinese Taipei is in the building ready for their 4 o'clock game that starts in approximately 1 hour, ladies and gentlemen. Another great game here for you on our live broadcast.
Chinese Taipei Powerhouse team, 9-0, I believe, was the score for their first game.
It was 13-0.
13-0, there you go, 13-0, correction on that.
Yes.
Just a strong team.
Yes, two innings out of the game ended in 5 innings. They had 2 innings with 6 runs, just complete dominance against San Antonio, Texas Elite yesterday.
Tell you what, no sign of jet lag on those boys. They came out swinging yesterday. Great to see them here. They're so excited to be in a new place and see different cultures. I had a chance to shake hands with a few of them. They are just great youth, and just their discipline and the way they respect the game, their coaches. You have got to admire them. And the way they play the game, and also the way they just have a great reverence for the sport.
Solid young men from Chinese Taipei. Derek Chrisman almost gets hit on the arm again. My goodness, he's like a punching bag right now.
That's right. He took a pitch in the hip and then was hit by the ball as he was running to second base.
He's a 0-1 pitch that gets away. And I believe this will be another run for Laredo. Number 14, Eric Garcia, the catcher, comes in and gives his pitcher, Marco Rea, another insurance run.
That's right. And he comes up, and he's still hurting. That hand of his has been hurting. He's been shaking it off, but he gets up and makes his way back to the dugout. Like you said, giving his pitcher a little extra help there.
No outs, runners on second and third for Laredo. This game is slipping away from Central Michigan.
Runners at third and second.
Derek Chrisman with a 3-0 count. That's scary time there. He takes a strike, but if Derek Chrisman is walked, we have Omar Cervantes, who has 2 back-to-back hits up to the plate, and we have the dangerous Sergio Chavez on deck.
And you get all 3 of these runners on base. You've got pretty much the speed of the lineup on the bags, with Sauceda, Benavides, and Chrisman all having a set of wheels on them. It looks like you just put together a nice NASCAR team right on the bases to run them in.
Definitely. The count is now full at 3-2, and Derek Chrisman pops up into shallow center field. I believe this ball's going to drop, and it does. Runner at third.
And it looks like waiting for a call here at third.
From up here, Mr. Belmares, it looked like he was out.
Sure, I think you're right. I think he slid right into the glove.
Definitely.
With a nice throw over from the center fielder.
This is the first bang-bang play, and he's remained safe.
And they're going to call him safe.
Bang-bang play there, yeah.
Let's take a look at that replay and see if we can see anything. But I'll tell you, that from up here looked like he slid right into the glove and the ball of the Central Michigan player, the third baseman, Ryan Schaefer. Is that correct?
Lucas Schweinsberg.
Lucas Schweinsberg, the third baseman.
And he played that perfectly as a third baseman. When somebody's coming in to slide, he protected the bag with the glove, preventing the foot from getting in, which is why I said that it looked like he was out. But
that's correct. And Charlie Newton, credit to him for that nice hard throw from center field, perfectly placed for him to be able to grab the runner. But it appears that they're going to call him safe, and it is going to stand. And so we now have another run score.
And we can't discredit, as we mentioned, Fernando Benavides, the second baseman. What speed to get from second to third from a little bloop in center field. Here's Omar Cervantes with another bloop in the center field, and this ball
caught by Charlie Newton, the center fielder, but it is going to score.
Sacrifice, yes.
That's right. Number 7, Daniel Quiroz, making his way home. I tell you that pitch, that ball that was hit previously, looked like got lost in the sun with the second baseman and was not able to gauge where it was, and it dropped between him and the center fielder. But that center fielder, Charlie Newton, again making a great play on this one, on the previous one with that great throw to third base.
Definitely to third base, and that's that one spot on the field that is in the middle of everybody. So if there's no good communication, the ball will drop, and unfortunately for Central Michigan, it dropped, and Laredo now has an 8-2 lead on 10 hits on the afternoon. What a day for Laredo hitters, as a DH, Sergio Chavez with an 0-1 count is up to bat with a runner on second with 1 out. Sergio Chavez with a hard ground ball through, and I believe this will score Derek Chrisman.
He is coming.
Yes, and he scores, and Sergio Chavez stops at second base, and I believe that will be awarded a single with a extra bag on the throw. But my goodness, these Laredo hitters are on fire.
Tell you what, the bats have come alive, and they are laying the wood to Central Michigan right now. New pitcher who took over for Marcus Lynch is now Mr. Cogwell.
Mr. Cogwell, yes,
and he's
John
struggling
Cogwell.
with these great Laredo hitters. Derek Chrisman running from second base all the way home. Like we said before, these runners have wheels, and they were moving, and he got himself home safely on an errant throw from the outfield there.
11 hits now on the day for Laredo as a number 5 hitter. Julio Cesar Taboada, center fielder, who's had a great day at the plate and defensively as well.
And Taboada has got a set of wheels on him as well, and if he can get on base with the 1 out.
Hits a ball that hooks foul down the left field line. Unfortunately for Central Michigan, as you can see, a lot of their faces, they have a face of, lost hope, as we can say, and they're struggling. I mean, they're here. They came here to play. They've played very well, and let's see if they can start a rally here, get out of this inning, and start a rally at the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Well, if they can take a page from the playbook of the team from Hermosillo, Mexico, who last night was down 6-1 to this very Laredo team, was able to come back and win.
Another base hit.
Another base hit for Laredo, and they bobbled the ball out there at right field. And so we have Sergio Chavez at third, and the speedy Julio Taboada at first. Runners on the corners, 1 out.
With Daniel Quiroz, the right fielder for Laredo, up to bat. I believe another left-handed hitter. Anything with 1 out, anything to the right side will score this run. Practically a base hit in any direction, maybe even a ground ball to the right side of the field. Another big insurance run here for Laredo as they have a 7-run lead here.
That's right. Top of the 6th with 4 runs scored so far in this inning. 9-2. Laredo over Central Michigan, the North Zone champ, and Laredo being the host team.
Another base hit. Another bobble. Another bobble by the right fielder, and that will be an error on him as well. And the runner advances from first to third after a bobble, as I mentioned. Daniel Quiroz with a solid piece of hitting through that hole between second and first base. And Sergio Chavez able to score, bringing the lead from up to 10-2. And that's, I believe, 5 hits in a row for Laredo?
That's 5 hits in a row. We're up to 13 in this game. And we now have runners at the corners, both the speedy Taboada and Campos at the plate here.
With 1 out only in the inning, in the top of the 6th inning here. If you're just joining us, ladies and gentlemen, this was a close game at the beginning. Is 1-0 lead and then a 3-2 lead, and it was very close up until these Laredo hitters caught fire with their bats, and they haven't looked back ever since. And as we've mentioned, we're in the top of the 6th inning. Laredo has 5 runs in the inning, 5 hits in a row, and they have 13 hits on the afternoon. What a slugfest here as Greg Campos, the left fielder, strikes out on a great curveball by John Cogwell looking.
That's right. Cogwell coming in for Marcus Lynch, who had pitched a really good game. Had a couple errors by his team that let Laredo score and get ahead a bit. But he battled all the way through, and now he's in the dugout taking a rest. And Cogwell has come on to pitch, and the Laredo bats have just lit him up.
Definitely, yes. These Laredo bats aren't holding back, and this Laredo team isn't holding back. I believe they've been sending a message here throughout this game after that tough loss last night. very tough being up 6 runs and then having your heart broken in the opening Friday night 7 o'clock primetime game, and as the home team in your home crowd, and losing a heartbreaker like that.
That's right. It answers that question of whether or not they belong here. Yes, they do.
Another foul ball straight back there.
That's always a challenge when you have a host team that is allowed to put in a team, and sometimes the question is, well, can they compete? And here they are, competing very, very well. Last night was a heartbreaker for them with Hermosillo, Mexico.
Yeah, what fight in Hermosillo, Mexico? We can't discredit them. What a rally they put together through several innings, coming back and winning that game.
That's right, and making their country proud by never losing hope and staying in the game and fighting, battling, and coming back and winning.
And great for their fans who traveled a long way, their parents and grandparents who were all here and able to see that rally come back.
That's right. They have a really large contingent that's come from Mexico to see the game, and even Puerto Rico has a fan base that made it all the way. Plus, as I mentioned earlier, they've got some of their island mates here in Laredo already, performing in Laredo Theater Guild International's In the Heights, a play that was performed on Broadway by Lin-Manuel Miranda, and this one is produced here locally by Laredo Theater Guild. Folks like Henry Mejia and Kenny Duncan, Linda Howland, Selena Oliveira.
Great production crew there.
Absolutely. Just doing a fantastic, and not to mention the direction of Marco Gonzalez, who is a great teacher and mentor and an artist in his own right. A great director, has taken his teams there from Nixon to state several times. And that ends the inning for us with a strikeout
by Eric Garcia, who had a hot bat there and stops the streak at 5 hits in a row for Laredo. Can't discredit the great day that he's had behind the plate and on the field. Great day for Eric Garcia. Unfortunately, he strikes out there, but Mr. Belmares, what an inning for Laredo.
Absolutely. Just really caught fire, sent Marcus Lynch to the dugout in the showers early, and then brought in Mr. Cogwell, who got lit up. John trying his very best to hold them at bay, but could not hold back those bats from Laredo. Certainly came alive, came on fire, and now they are absolutely...
With Mr. Marco Rea back on the mound, giving him many more cushion runs here, insurance runs that were much needed, giving this Laredo crowd here, this hometown crowd, a little spark and boost. And we can see the faces of the Michigan coaches and their players. They look a little disappointed and almost in disbelief with this Laredo powerhouse offense. And you know, they still have a chance. They still have, I believe they still have 2 at-bats there, the home team. So they have 2 at-bats here. Maybe they'll be able to piece something together. That's the beauty of the game of baseball.
You bet. What seems insurmountable, as it did last night for Hermosillo against this very Laredo team, all of a sudden they were able to overcome and win. And I know that Central Michigan is looking at that and holding that in the back of their head, saying, hey, we saw a team do it last night. Maybe we can too. But they've got a big hill to climb. Marco Rea doesn't seem like he's lost any of his steam. He's got full command and control of his pitches. Looks fresh as a daisy, even though he's out in that hot Laredo sun, but continues to pitch a marvelous game. Only 4 hits so far. Is that what we have on the board there?
I believe it is 4 hits, and very crazy to see somebody like Marco Rea, somebody who's doesn't have a big frame, very skinny guy, throw with such an arm like that. You know, such great velocity, such great command, not having the utmost confidence to deliver his pitches and know what he wants and have his location set. And just what a day for Marco Rea, who has, as you're correct, given up only 4 hits.
There you are. See, only 4 hits, and he has just played a phenomenal game so far today, and we've got to give him some credit. And credit to his team for playing great defense. It's a fantastic play there at second base and first base earlier in the game.
Up to bat for Central Michigan, we have number 28, Lance McDonald, the catcher,
who's had himself a really good game behind the plate, has not let too much get past him.
Definitely, yes.
It is taxing on the young man when you've got all that gear in this hot sun.
Has to be plenty of Gatorade there in the dugout for him.
You bet, but he looks like he's ready to play here as he gets ready to take this pitch from Marco Rea.
That ball just misses, a curveball that just is just above the zone. 1-1 count here.
looks like Correa's got something. Ooh, nice and tight there, but a little outside. And looks like the wind has died down. I'm looking at those banners out there from our sponsors, Andy's, Rotex, Laredo, CVB, and others, and they're not flapping near as much.
That's a fair ball. Great play by the first baseman and great cover by Marco Correa, who's covered the first base and done his job very well, and he gets the out, helping himself out.
You bet. They've had great bats, and defense has been outstanding as well. So good for this Laredo team, this hometown team who wants to continue to stay. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've joined us, this is a win-or-go-home game between Laredo, Texas, and the North Zone champion, Central Michigan from Mount Pleasant. Laredo leading 10-2 at the bottom of the sixth.
First pitch to number 17, Blake Plowdry, the right fielder, who's had a couple of great plays here and a couple of good throws into the infield for runners. I believe he got one out earlier in the game. Mr. Plowdry having himself a tournament as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and fouled directly back. I tell you, Marco Correa's fastball is very hard to catch up to with these Michigan hitters.
That's right. You know, his lanky frame has allowed him to throw some really great fastballs, and for whatever reason, these Central Michigan batters are having a hard time with his delivery.
Another great fastball on the outside corner there for Marco Correa, called strike.
Great to see the flags of the U.S., Chinese Taipei, Mexico, and Puerto Rico flying there. It's a beautiful day out here at Uni-Trade. If you're watching us right now, we've got another game coming up at 4 o'clock between Chinese Taipei and Youngstown, Ohio. Got a cousin that lives in Youngstown, Ohio.
Great state of Ohio there in
Absolutely.
Northeast United States. 2-2 count, 2-2 pitch here, swung on and missed, another strikeout, foul tipped for Marco Correa, who has been dealing throughout this whole game, and now he gets to go up the great Lucas Schweinsberg, the third baseman, who's, my question throughout this tournament, one of the best defenders we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Great player here.
And
as you mentioned, those flags, I'm sure for these players, it's nice to see your country's flag.
Great hit by Lucas Schweinsberg right in the gap there between first and second.
Complimenting his defense there with a base hit to right field. Solid overall baseball player.
He has been a standout for this team and just continues to deliver. And that's what you love to see about these competitors, that they're not giving up 1 inch. They're going to continue to battle till the last strike is called. Hopefully, maybe be able to make a comeback.
Number 23, Garrett Sheridan. Up to bat, his weak ground ball to the shortstop. Gets Lucas Schweinsberg, correction, out at second base, and Marco Correa dealing once again, getting out of a quick inning. We're in the 7th inning, the final inning of this game, and the story has been all Laredo throughout this whole game, and solid hitting, solid defense, solid pitching.
That's right. It's just been a fantastic game for Laredo. After bouncing back from a heartbreaker loss last night to Hermosillo, Mexico, they have come alive, come back strong, and their bats are on fire. Their defense is solid, and they are leading the Central Michigan team 13-2. And again, thank you to our sponsors, the City of Laredo, Laredo CVB, Line Decker Construction, Liquid Studio Group, the Outlet Shops at Laredo, Person, Whitworth, Borchers, and Morales, attorneys at law, Playmore Entertainment, Rotex Truck Center, Real Texas Barbecue, Rudy's, Stat Emergency Center, Sunbelt Air Conditioning and Refrigeration Services, Tots to Teens, Pediatric Dentistry, AEP Texas, Boundless Energy, Danny's, La Roca, La Carreta, Advanced Spine and Pain Solutions, Dr. Marte Martinez. A-Rod Construction, Blue Top Digital Reprographics, Carlos A. Canales CPA. Great turnout today. We've got the Chinese team lining up over there, getting ready to take the field a little bit, sitting in their benches. Nice, cool shade.
They get to enjoy this Texas heat and the shade, as you mentioned. But Central Michigan out here, once again, bringing out John Cogwell, see if he can get the job done here in the top of the 7th inning with these very good Laredo hitters that have just, stepped on the gas pedal and, forgot that there's even a break there.
That's right. They have just been pedal to the metal, and they have been on fire, hopefully adding a few more runs as we've got a 10-2 game here with Laredo. Sorry, 10-2. I think I mentioned 13 earlier, but 13 is the number of hits we have. But runs 10-2 against Central Michigan, and now batting again at the top of the 7th.
Guillermo Salceda almost gets hit there by that pitch. Guillermo Salceda had that big double to break the tie there, I believe, in the 2nd inning, and he had another big hit in the 4th inning. And, as I mentioned earlier, the number 9 hitter for a club coming through like that with the top of the order up close is really big, and Guillermo Salceda has delivered for Laredo.
That he has, and again, bouncing back from last night, these kids shaking off the heartbreaker loss that they had, just to bounce back the way they have just shows true grit on their part. Great game so far for Marco Correa, the pitcher for Laredo, and now John Cogwell, who's taken over for Marcus Lynch, who was hammered in the 6th inning. John Cogwell did not fare any better when he came out. Laredo continued to pound away.
Definitely. Another base hit there down the right field line for Guillermo Salceda. And as you mentioned, big 6th inning for Laredo. They knocked in 5 runs, probably the most that has been seen today. And other than Chinese Taipei knocking in 6 yesterday, that's a lot of runs in an inning for players and teams that are this good with such solid defenses like that.
That's right. And now this inning's beginning to mirror what the last inning looked like.
With the first runner on.
Runner on, and then Fernando Benavides, the speedy Fernando Benavides, coming on with Derek Chrisman on deck.
Yeah, Fernando Benavides has had himself a day, as we keep mentioning, defensively and offensively, base running, just another all-around good baseball player.
Absolutely, and you've got to figure that if these 3 runners get on base, it'll look just like that last inning when you had the NASCAR lineup at the bags and a big hitter coming right behind him to push them all in.
Yes, definitely a 1-1 count here for Fernando Benavides, who's seeing the fastball very well today. Many of his hits have come off the fastball. He's another fastball, and I sound like a broken record, but that's another base hit up the middle, right where you want to hit the ball, and Fernando Benavides is just dealing. I believe he is 4 for 5 today.
That's a fantastic outing for that young man, and now we've got Derek Chrisman coming up to bat, and again, mirroring what happened in inning number 6, where you've got the bases starting to get full here with the speed of your lineup getting on, and then your big hitter Omar Cervantes coming in, your first baseman, who's on deck.
Omar Cervantes having 3 hits in a row, and Derek Chrisman having a big hit in the 6th inning there.
Oh, nice swing by Derek Chrisman and a great pitch by Cogwell. Well, I'll tell you what, you got to give credit to Central Michigan. They are not giving up. Cogwell is pitching himself a game as well, trying his very best to keep this thing close. And struggling at times, but just no let up in his eyes or his body demeanor. He's just looking like he's going to keep battling until he gets where he wants to be, which is a win.
Popped very high up, I believe, to the pitcher, but that is not the pitcher. That's the third baseman. Solid play there again by the third baseman.
He's had himself a game as well. The Lucas Schweinsberg has had a fantastic game on the defensive side as well as at the plate but that young man is a Golden Glove in the making. Again, some of these young men have already committed to their universities and continue their careers at the next level.
At the plate, 26, Omar Cervantes, who's had himself a day as well, knocking in several hits. Big-time day for him as well.
That's right. Big Wood at the plate. That boy has been swinging some lumber all day.
0-1 count here for him. Big swing there. Just missed it. Fouled straight back. These Laredo hitters seem to be ahead of the fastball, and it's the other way for the Michigan hitters who were behind the Marco Reyes fastball. Here's a 0-1 pitch. Hit right up the middle again. Bobbled by the shortstop, but he gets the out. And they get the double play. What a play by the Michigan shortstop who recovered after a bobble there.
Well, and that is a sign of hope for Central Michigan as they're able to keep Laredo at 10. They've got an 8-run deficit to overcome here in the last inning, the bottom of the 7th. Their last at bat in a win-or-go-home game.
For Central Michigan, Zeke Barnett making up for that error he had earlier. He didn't want another error there, and another error there in the book for himself, and makes up with a very well-turned double play. I believe Central Michigan has the only two 6-4-3 double plays that have been turned here in this tournament, and
they have. They've had played some good defense, but they've had their moments where they committed their errors, and I think that let Laredo slip through the door and expand their lead. And now they are faced with elimination here in the bottom of the 7th, the last inning, down 10-2, and their bats have been awfully silent because Marco Rea has been phenomenal. Had a great outing, 4 hits only in 6 innings pitched. And now we've got
a pitching change. Yes, Marco Rea, great afternoon, and gets a well-deserved rest and applause from his teammates. And Laredo brings in number 27, Homero Saldivar, the closing pitcher. Yes, as the umpire tells us and tells the booth next door that there is a pitching change. Number 27, Homero Saldivar, who has a mean fastball and a mean curveball, coming in to close for Laredo, looking to get a 1-2-3 so Laredo can move on in the bracket into the tournament and could continue their play. And we'll see with Zeke Barnett, who had the big play there in the top of the 7th inning. We'll see if he can get something going here for Central Michigan.
Well, you got it right. They've got to get something going, because if not, they're going to have a long plane ride home. Even though they have done a phenomenal job just to get here, the win, the North Zone, to come down to Laredo and play in the World Series, had sweet as that is, maybe a little bittersweet because they're going home without the trophy. So they're going to work hard this last half inning and hopefully rally. But it all starts with first batter here, number 22.
Andrew Gauthier, excuse me, as we have to throw down a second. This is his first appearance. He had a good game yesterday. This is the first we see of him today. Yesterday against Los Angeles, California, he had a pretty good game. I believe he knocked in a couple of hits, and as I mentioned, this is the first we see of him today. Let's see if he can be that spark off the bench that Central Michigan needs here, down 8 runs, and their last chance, as Mr. Belmatis here mentioned.
Well, I'm sure they've got their rally caps on, and they're going to do their little, do whatever it takes to get their rally started here. But Mr. Gauthier's got to get it going.
Definitely a big hit difference margin. Laredo having 15 and Central Michigan only having 5. Let's see if Central Michigan can change that number. Here's the first pitch by Homero Saldivar. Solid fastball, called strike.
A little different in his delivery than Marco Rea, but just as effective.
Here's the 0-1 pitch to Gauthier. Another fastball swung on and missed. What steam there from Homero Saldivar. Yes.
Gauthier doing everything he could to protect that plate and take that swing, and could not make contact.
Here's the 0-2 pitch. I wouldn't be surprised if Saldivar goes to a curveball in the dirt here. Fastball swung on and hit to the center field. They're almost in the gap. Solid piece of hitting there by Gauthier, but
Julio Cesar Tawada with his wheels making the run over and grabbing that fly ball. I tell you, that kid out there has got some speed on him, and he got to jump on that ball early, and was able to make that catch.
As I mentioned in the middle of the inning, Mr. Zeke Barnett having a big play there in the top of the 7th. Let's see if he can get something started here. There's Saldivar's curveball that goes into dirt. Great eye there by Barnett.
And that's the pitch that we were expecting for the previous batter, and didn't deliver it, but he had some great defensive help.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Zeke Barnett, the shortstop. Fastball right down the pipes. 1-1 is a count now with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Laredo on the verge of moving on in the bracket, and Michigan looking to stay alive here. Another solid slider there. Outside corner of the plate, didn't get the call, but great pitch there by Saldivar.
It was, and it tempted that batter, but he stayed at home and didn't swing. To his credit, but it was an excellent pitch.
Here's a 2-1 pitch to Barnett. Fastball right down the pipes again. What a pitch by Saldivar. Barnett not having any time to react to that one.
I'm telling you, those pitches look laser guided right to Eric Garcia's glove.
Eric Garcia making the right calls there behind the plate, giving Saldivar every inch there to be ahead. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Another fastball on the outside corner. Mr. Barnett does not take a swing and strikes out looking. And Laredo, ladies and gentlemen, is 1 out away here in their hometown from advancing in this tournament in Central Michigan. Having a great tournament as well, looking very good, great defense, solid players, just not getting the job done and not having luck on their side. As you know, they're behind here by 8 runs. We'll see. 2-out rally, you never know, but Laredo on the verge here, moving on. Nasty curveball there.
Yes, sir. Tough spot for Charlie Newton, the center fielder, who's had a great game defensively, to be the last batter in this at-bat for their team that could potentially send them home. Really tough spot for him to be in.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Another curveball. Looks like it's in the exact spot, but the umpire says it's a little low and outside. Solid pitch there again by Homero Saldivar.
And he is closing that door on Central Michigan fast.
Most definitely with a 1-1 count here with 2 outs. Here's Saldivar's pitch. Fastball that gets away from Eric Garcia, who had a problem with that earlier in the game, and he corrected it very, very nicely.
Mm-hmm. Sure has. He's come on as late, and again, early in the game, he looked like he was having some struggles with his glove or his hand, but has since recovered, as you said.
Here's a 2-1 pitch from Mr. Saldivar, the closer for Laredo. Charlie Newton gets a piece of it and fouls it back. And ladies and gentlemen, Central Michigan is down to their last strike here. I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Saldivar throws him a curveball here, try to get him swinging.
Well, credit to the Central Michigan team for hanging in there and still battling. Charlie Newton showing the tough mettle that Central Michigan sent to Laredo, Texas, to battle it out here down to his last strike, trying to hang on.
Here's a 2-2 pitch, popped up to the third baseman, and this game is over.
And that does it for Central Michigan. They are done with this tournament, going home after losing to hometown Laredo, Texas.
They move on, and they get to keep playing here in front of their families and home crowd. And tough end there for Central Michigan, Mr. Belmontes, but they
They did what they could. They came down here to play and compete, and they competed well. Unfortunately, not enough to win. Hats off to Marcus Lynch, who had an outstanding afternoon pitching, to the bats of Central Michigan to keep them close for a while. But Laredo, Texas, coming on strong after a heartbreak loss.
A solid game for both teams, but Laredo gets to win this one. But Mr. Belmontes, it was a pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine. Thank you. Did a fantastic job, and hope we get to do this again soon.
Most definitely, and we'll see you guys back here at 4 o'clock. Thank you very much.